Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Just Like Us. I'm your host, Justin Bird. This is my lovely co-host, Leti. Welcome in, everybody. Glad to have you guys here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. You could be anywhere, but you guys are here with us. Happy to have you here. So we got a whole new setup. Hopefully you guys can hear us well. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about Let Love Lead. It's just kind of like light conversation after a long week. And this one is about letting go of the weight from the week and just choosing to lead with love. So welcome in again. So today we have a very special guest with us today. She's phenomenal. To somebody that we've known for some time, and we've been around each other and learning and earning and doing things together. So I'm really proud to have the one and only Sarah Masoni up here today with us to visit. So I'm gonna bring her up, and her name is toggle left. Here we go. This is Sarah Masoni. You guys, welcome in. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Sarah.
Yes.
Hi. Nice
You look
to
lovely.
meet you.
Yes.
Hey, thanks
for
for joining
being
us.
here.
Yes, thank you. So we were kind of talking earlier about the pre-brief. Sarah does some amazing things and some different things in her life. I'll let her kind of dive into that and what she does. But just to kind of give a little bit of a briefing of what she does is she does something very unique. And we're talking about it like I think a week, 2 weeks ago, what she does, and it was very impressive to me. And so welcome in, Sarah. So if you want to kind of introduce yourself, let people know what you do.
Sure. So my name is Sarah Masoni, and I live in Oregon, and I work in the food industry. I help food entrepreneurs create value-added food products. And when I say value-added food products, I mean like cookies and barbecue sauce and salsa and all those things that you make in your home kitchen that you wish you could bottle and sell it. You might have been at dinner one time and your friend said, "Man, this is so good. I want you to bottle it and sell it." Well, that's what I do. We have a team of
There we go.
We have a team of 5 people at the Food Innovation Center that help with that very process. And I've been doing it for a long time, almost 30 years.
What? Wow.
30
really?
years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The same job for 25, but before that I worked for a company called Garden Burger. Have you ever heard of the Garden Burger?
Can't say I have, huh?
Well, it was a veggie burger that was invented in Portland. And then it eventually sold to Kellogg's. Kellogg's owns the brand now, but I did all the formulation work. So I worked with all the recipes, and I helped with scaling up, which means we would take a small, like a 1 pound batch, and make it into thousands of pounds on big inline ovens and things like that.
What?
So,
interesting. What? How cool. Because I have heard of a veggie burger. That's cool.
Yeah.
You say pretty nerdy? I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Somebody's doing this work in the background.
Yeah.
Nerdy food stuff. But I think one of the funnest things that I do actually is that I get to judge food products. And Justin and Leti and I were talking about that. One of my areas of expertise is dairy products judging.
What? Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I was trained when I was in school to taste things that are wrong with dairy products.
What? Interesting.
Yeah. So if you ever think about like a big dinner, do you ever notice if something's wrong with what your grandma made? That's what everybody's talking about. Oh, grandma, there's too much salt, or you forgot the paprika, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what happens in the food industry. We're always evaluating the foods that are made to make sure that they meet what we'd call the gold standard.
Right. Okay. Interesting. I've always wondered about that kind of stuff. Who's in the background, making sure this stuff, what I mean? You try it first.
Yeah.
What's been some of your favorite things to test?
Well, I always love testing ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't love ice cream?
Who doesn't love ice cream? Right. Yeah, absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
you were talking about leading with love. So let love lead. I'd say if you're ever having a bad day and you're trying to figure out how to make it up to somebody, take them out for an ice cream cone. It'll change everything.
I agree.
Right. Unless they're what is it called? Dairy,
lactose intolerant. But
They're
there's yogurt.
Well, they have to have a
Well, for
vegan ice cream. That'll solve that problem.
Okay, right, yeah. Little Justin and I went out the other night for he joined our first podcast for the
Yeah.
first time, right? Not our first one, but and so I went and took him out for yogurt, and he
Mhm.
said his eyes were so big. He's like, I was like, okay, get whatever you want, and he got a big old, scoop, and before you know it, he's like, oh, Dad, I can't finish this, but and I think he's somewhat a little bit lactose intolerant, but yeah, so ice cream's good until it's not, right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we were kids, we had those big old 3-gallon plastic tubs.
Oh
in the
yeah,
fridge.
right.
Oh yeah.
It cost like $3 or
Right,
something.
yeah.
So our parents would be like, "Yeah, just eat a bowl of ice cream."
Right, yeah.
So squeeze that Hershey's sauce on
Right,
there. And
yeah. That's a cool. It's very unique what you do though, and so that's been pretty much. You said that's been the only job you've had. How did you fall into that category and like get that in being that kid?
Well, they say the leaf doesn't fall far from the tree, right? So
Right.
my dad was a food scientist.
What? Oh, cool. How
Yeah, there
cool.
was.
Okay.
Yeah, so he learned all his stuff like in the 50s and the 60s, and that was a time in the food industry when a lot of things were changing, and there were a lot of really smart scientists figuring stuff out, like high fructose corn syrup, which everybody hates now. But that's all kind of food science stuff, right?
So we got somebody in the chat that says they're in Oregon. They said, "Oh, I want to talk to her. I'm in Oregon. I'm a chef." And this is Patty Newman.
I've known
Patty
her
Newman's in the building.
Over.
Hi, Patty.
Hey, Patty.
30
I think
years.
I may have met Patty. Maybe I must have. If she's here in Oregon, I probably
Right. Everybody knows everybody. What's up, Corey? How you doing, buddy? Welcome in, man. He said he'll be in Reno Monday, but yeah. So again, like being in your position or what you've done, what are some unique things that you have that you could share with us? Like you mean that can delight the people in a sense.
Well, one of the things I think that crosses over to anything that you do is to just help people and be transparent when you're teaching them something, because if you don't share information with people, then we kind of end up being gatekeepers, and I'm not a fan of gatekeepers. So once I learn something, I just love to tell everybody about it.
Right. I agree.
So that's always been my way of doing business. I learn something and I share something.
Right.
And that's how we build people up. Right.
Right. Yeah.
So I have stories of people who came to me at the Food Innovation Center. They had to take the bus and carry like paper bags of food with them. And they were worried on how they could afford to get the bus to go back home. And now they're like earning 6 figures selling the food that they now manufacture. So food is something that's really inspiring to many people. I mean, you can't really live without it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And we all need it.
Right.
And one of the things that I think is really important about food that we all need to remember is that when people are hungry, that's when we have problems. So I'm always in favor of making sure that people are well fed.
I like that. Okay, fair enough. I want to talk maybe a little bit about how we met. We just met in person for the first time. What was it? 3 weeks ago, I believe, right?
Yeah. Down
we
in
met. In Ontario. Yes. Did you go see Master P? I don't remember. Did you? You went and see Master P, right?
I was there. I got to meet Master P.
That's
and
right.
all the spectacular stars. I really enjoyed my time there in Ontario.
Yeah, we had fun. So Sarah and us, we met in the academy, Spectacular School of Business and the academy. And, it's been, what, 7 months for you? I think you've been in the academy?
In September. Yep. Our mentor is Spectacular Smith.
Yes, yes. And what an eventful time. But there's so many great people that we've met being in this academy, and it's a tough course. It can, very, it takes a lot to be in there. So, but,
you have to work hard for things that we want to happen and change our lives, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And so having right who's definitely helps. Again, it's how we met, is being in the same room with the same people, like-minded, business-minded people that want to do better for themselves. So, and that's how we end up meeting. So it was great actually being in person and meeting you, out there at the boot camp. So that was really, really a fun time to be able to, be in the same room with people who are, millionaires and billionaires that, it just feels good to be around.
We're all millionaires. Justin, don't forget.
Yes, because I know I've made at least $1 million in my lifetime, at least once or twice for sure, right? Just I don't have it right now doesn't mean I'm not going to get it again. But yeah, so how was your week this week, Sarah? Did you have a good week? What'd you do?
So I turned 61 on Tuesday.
Hey, happy birthday, 61.
Happy birthday.
And so I decided that my 61st year is going to be getting in shape.
Okay.
So I started walking, and yesterday I did my first 10,000 step day.
Dang. Hey, how'd you find that? You got to watch?
I did with my cell phone. I have a tracker on my cell phone, but I need to get a watch. But I found myself out walking in the evening because I didn't think about walking during the day. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm going to go walk. And then I didn't realize how far 10,000 steps is. You know how far it is?
Far, right.
It's 5 miles.
Is it 5? What?
It's about 5. Yeah. And since I'm so out of shape, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm so out of shape. I'm working on not being out of shape. I'm looking forward to being able to do those 10,000 steps in about an hour. Right now, it's taking me about 2.
2 hours. Yeah, I get it. I probably walked that probably.
We're making progress. We'll make progress for sure.
We all know all too well that, when you stick to something, like, you will see the results, You definitely will, because I mean, again, being, where we met and stuff, like, just we've been progressing so much, huh, Leti and I know for sure have. I've seen you over the past few months too, Sarah, like progressing, and again, having the right who's around to push you and having the right people that you can bounce things off of definitely helps. I feel, to have the people that's around you that want to see you do good, that definitely helps. So I find lately that I have been more or less like not pushing people away, but if
we got to say no when we
and I've been getting better at that, because no has not always been my favorite word. I'm more like a yes kind of person, but it seems to be like a dangerous thing because people will take advantage, and I don't even know if it's their intention or if it's just something that I'm putting out there. But saying yes a lot, man, I might just take advantage of somebody and not know. If they're constantly saying, yeah, I might just let them, use their energy to do the work I need to do. And I'm just saying, so for me, it was kind of like I was putting a lot of energy into things that I probably didn't need to. And so I'm getting better at being able to, figure out what I'm going to be putting my energy toward now.
Yeah, we want to make the money work for us. We don't want to work for money. We want the money to work for us.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And it feels good to be able to have the ability to say no, because not that we couldn't before, I couldn't, but the no word just wasn't really in my vocabulary. And it should.
If you think about it, Justin and Leti, we have to have the courage to say no.
Yeah, really.
And it feels good once you start doing it. Yeah. You want to say it more.
Yeah.
I do anyway.
Because I mean, again, people can take advantage, and it may not be their intention, but sometimes people just like, hey, well, they'll do that for me. I'll let them. So.
Well, and then when you do ask somebody for help, you better be prepared, have really good questions. I think that's the other thing that I've recently noticed, that when you're taking a professional's time to sort of learn and ask something, be prepared in advance so you can just be cool about it and you're not like fumbling around and stuff, and maybe asking things that you could have figured out yourself. So the questions are important, how you ask them.
And every time I've seen you go up on stage, and when I say stage, you guys, what I mean is we have in the academy we have trainings and in class and stuff, and there's a stage that you can come up on in the Zooms, and anytime Sarah's gotten up, it's been like she's had these phenomenal questions and she's gotten these really great answers. But when you get up on the stage or you get up in front of the class, like your questions just like roll off your tongue so easy. I'm like, dang, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I had that question because that was a really good question.
Well, it comes with time and practice. I remember the very first time I had to speak to a large group of people. I was so nervous. I kept saying, I'm so nervous. I've never done this before. And people started laughing at me. And, after time, you just kind of figure out to speak a little bit slower. I actually took a class one time that taught me how to speak slower and pause in unexpected places when you're speaking. And that allows people to sort of think along with you and then have time to come up with, their thoughts and maybe questions. So
I think I have that issue of where I tend to just kind of speak before I pause. And I was told this by one of my mentors saying, sometimes you just need to let people catch up with what you're saying, because you know what you're saying, Justin, but some other people might not. And so I think what you're saying right now is relevant. Very.
Yeah.
But also to put enough details in the conversation. So paint a picture, put in the extra words, that describe the question and, what it is you're trying to learn. If I'm talking about the sky today, I wouldn't just say it's blue and white. I might say, the sky is blue up behind some enormous fluffy clouds that are gray and white, and I'm thinking it might rain,
Right,
so
yeah.
that makes people sort of feel like they're actually with you, right? They're with you and they get it.
Right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So as far as like what you do now, you've been doing this for 25 years. What are some things that you've learned over the years? Like, what's something that you can share with the people that they may not know?
Well, there's 3 things that make food taste good.
Okay, let's hear it. Interesting.
1.
Sugar.
Always, right?
Fat.
Fat? What kind of fat? Like lard? Like fat?
It could be lard, butter, coconut oil, whatever kind of oil or fat you like.
Okay.
And the last one is salt.
Salt, sugar, salt, and fat. Okay, definitely.
You got
right?
those 3 things. Let's think about a food that has sugar, fat, and salt in it.
All of them. Think about one that doesn't have all those, right? Like
all of the ones that we love eating have sugar, fat, and salt, and that's that's part of it.
Well, being in the food science area, like, are there dangers to some of these foods that you know of?
Well, yeah, I mean, the nutrition facts panel was added to our packaging only in like 1991, so that's kind of newish.
Right, yeah.
And up until then, it was random whether people really know what was in the food.
Right.
And so the federal government said, nope, you got to put your information on the package, and you have to tell us how many calories, and you have to tell us the serving size and all that stuff.
Right.
But the thing is the food scientists can give you all the information, but we're not there with you telling you how much to eat of it.
Right. Oh, and that note, I seen on the digital, I don't know if it's the soda machine that you touch the screen, right? I seen the other day, because I don't drink caffeine anymore, so I wanted to know. I was actually on ChatGPT. I took a photo. I said which one of these are caffeine. Well, on the screen as I'm pushing this button, it said that I want to say it was Fanta, had this cancer. It said on the screen, it says this has a cancer-causing chemical in it, like a red dye or something like that. And I'm like, wow,
red
at least
dye 40.
So you know what you're talking about.
California has some really strict rules, but
the
thing is the federal government has been ruling the food systems here for many, many years, like from the industrialization time, like back in the 20s and stuff, or even. But the thing is that I think everything's going to get kind of reeled in and changed around, and we haven't had a lot of changes in regulations since 2011, so it's been about 14 years, and so I'm looking forward to see what actually is going to happen with all the changes that are coming.
Right. Okay. Interesting, because a lot of people probably don't know this stuff, but it's very important, because they say what you are what you eat, and that's so true.
Food
you know what I mean?
So one of the things I have heard is in Europe, they only have 300 additives that you can use in your food products, but in the US, we have over 3,000.
Wow. Right. Yeah.
So I've been telling the people that I work with that we should. I actually downloaded the list and sent it to all the food scientists on the team, and said, hey, here's the list. Like, can we specialize in helping people, fix their food?
Right.
So I imagine we'll be seeing some of that happening.
Right. Yeah. And so I don't know what things we can flag us. So we'll call it the C word, for there's so many things from probably eating that you can get sick from. Right. And so my mom ended up dying from cervical cancer, and it was the craziest thing, because it was like the cancer ate through my mom's all the way through her stomach. It was like vicious. The cancer was so vicious, like, and it just made me think, like, how, where this came from. Like, how many people do you guys know in that have passed away from the C word? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I mean? So many people. It's just so common.
I even had cancer. I had breast cancer in 2017.
And you said you got it and were able to get it before it spread to being something that was
stage
serious.
0, but even though it was stage 0, they take you through all of the paces. So I had radiation, I had part of the tissue removed, I had to take all this medication. And so the system's pretty precautious. But the whole time I was having that, I was like, what did I do in my life? And come to find out, if you're a swimmer, so I swam, chlorine can cause cancer. Bleach.
Wow.
So I literally spent thousands of hours in the swimming pool from when I was 10 all the way till for like 8 or 10 years.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So you just don't know.
Right. Yeah.
You can't stop living your life.
No.
Well, I mean, but being aware is a whole nother story though, because having they have forever chemicals and things. I mean, like, because ignorance is no excuse, right? Like we have the ability now to have technology at our fingers for anything. You can ask ChatGPT anything. Doesn't mean that it's 100% true, but the fact is we have the ability to go look. And again, like with me, I'm looking at labels and seeing if it has for my son, I don't allow him to eat a lot of stuff. He doesn't really get much sugar at all. And so I'm reading labels. I'm not that as good as I'd like to be, but I really like. Well, my whole goal is to not eat anything with ingredients. It has ingredients because really, like, from what I've learned, like we're supposed to eat our water. We're supposed to, eat our water from fruits. We don't need to really necessarily be going into a river and slurping water. If you eat the right foods, you won't need water. That's how do you think like the lions and those things? How do you think that they survive in the in the desert? Because the blood, the blood is hydrating to them.
A lot of water in it.
Yeah. So again, like there's grapes, there's kiwis, there's all kind of foods in the world that you don't need necessarily water if you have all these already hydrogenated, plants and
brush my teeth with watermelon juice.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I brushed my teeth today with hydrating. I brushed it with baking soda and peroxide, and I tell you what, my teeth were clean as heck.
One time somebody told me, "Oh yeah, I put my avocado seed into my smoothie," and I was like,
"Oh, what the heck?"
Okay, I want to try it. So I threw the avocado seed in. It was so bitter.
I bet you that cleans your teeth. Like, hey, let's go.
But
yeah, my experience,
tasty.
No,
I'll try anything once, and then if I don't like it, you won't see me trying it again.
So where we have been and to where we're at now, I think having awareness is where in my life I find to be very valuable. It's like allowing myself to be open to new things and not just be set in my old ways and just thinking that what I did and what I know and how I was is the way. I'm open to like learning from a 6-year-old. I'm open to earning from
an open mind. And guess what? Now Google even uses AI. So you can just, if you have a question about a food you're eating or something you're doing, just type the question in and it'll give you some information that you can kind of think about and sort of dig deeper into these thoughts that you have. I think people need to think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they're called smartphones for a reason, but I think it's interesting that how when I'm able to use AI like ChatGPT or Grok or something like things like that, it enhanced the heck out of my life. And for anybody who's watching, I have just recently made this little doll from AI with this AI genie.
I saw that.
Isn't that cool? And this little doll breaks out of this. And it's me in my suit, and it breaks out of this box, and it's like and so I was able to put my voice and some sound effects, but the whole point is to be able to capture people's attention. I think this is going to be a great way to do it. Because here in social media is what we have gone to school for. It's what we're on doing right now is social media, because we all know that social media can pay, right? We all know that people are sitting at home right now living a laptop life with the ability to have social media. So if you can captivate people's attention, there's definitely a niche there to be able to go down and be able to make a living. So whatever you do,
building trust through good social media seems to be where it's at.
Yeah, I agree. Because one thing what our mentors would say is like the new currency is relationships, and I find that to be very attractive to what I live for, and that's relationships. Because communication to me is everything, and so having a community of people who believe in you and want to see you build on what you're doing, it can take you to the moon.
It's so true. And you know what I noticed and I hadn't really thought about it for myself, but you remember the story of Jesus and how in his own town people didn't believe him, but when he traveled, people were amazed at what he had to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I feel sometimes that when we're working in a certain situation, it's easy to make that feel like it's the center of the universe. And so if you can get out and meet new people and do new things, it really can change your life for the better.
Absolutely.
That's a really
agree.
good point.
Yes.
That's a very good point. Just
Because
a good
people
perspective.
just say, "Oh, that's Sarah. Here she comes again with another crazy idea."
Yeah.
I just keep sending ideas to people, and they're just like, "Where did you come up with that today?" Like, or yesterday, we got a call, and somebody wants to have us on TV, local TV, just before Easter, the Potato Commission of all things. And I'm not available because I'm busy. And so I asked one of the chefs at work, "Hey, do you have time to do it?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, we were on the Zoom call talking about it. And I said, "Why don't we do deviled potatoes instead of deviled eggs?"
Oh, wow.
Oh,
and after we got off the Zoom call, the chef's like, "Did you just make that up?"
Yeah, did you?
No, I saw it on social media.
That's funny.
Said,
Okay.
"Look, on social media, all the ladies out there, they're like cooking all this great stuff. Like people figured out, well, these little round potatoes look like eggs, so I'm gonna just scoop them out, blend up the stuff, and whip it, and boom."
Nice. Okay, that sounds good. I'm on one. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
got me hungry.
I'm not like a, like I used to, like when I would cook, I'd like to, measure everything. I'd always ask my mom or my grandmother, like, how much of that did you put in there? A little of this, a little of that. And being that, you work in the science of food.
Yeah.
Is there, what's the difference between someone just throwing a little of this and a little of that versus the scientific piece of that?
Well, what we do when we actually, I've been in kitchens, like I've gone in restaurants where the grandma cooks the sauce, and nobody in the family knows how to make the sauce because it's some of this, a little bit of that. And so what I do is I bring a scale with me into the kitchen, and I'm like, "Okay, grandma, we got to weigh that before you throw it in the pot." And then I just write it all down, and suddenly I collected all the information, and then they just can make the product without
that's a good way of doing that. Yeah. So what exactly is your title?
My title is Director of Product and Process Development.
Wow. That's a long title. Director of Product and Process Development. Is there a certain company, or are you allowed to say?
It's at the Food Innovation Center in Portland. We're part of Oregon State University.
Oh, wow. And that's where you've been for 25?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I also have a podcast. It's called Meaningful Marketplace, Masoni and Marshall. And we have over 230 episodes, all interviewing food entrepreneurs.
Oh, wow. We'll have to get on there. Well, maybe not, but at least we're
watch
check it out. So anybody's watching. So what is it exactly? How can they find you if anybody's watching? What do they go look for?
It's on iTunes, and there's a YouTube channel. So it's easy to find.
And what's it called again?
Meaningful Marketplace.
Meaningful Marketplace. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so if you guys are on here, and if you want to go check that out,
Meaningful Marketplace,
go check it out and follow her as well.
Sarah Masoni.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. Everything that we talked about has been new to me. I mean, again, like when you think of food, and oftentimes we're like today, I ate, I ate a salad that Leti had brought, and I also had some fast food. So I'm not doing the best at, being able to eat better.
I mean, food is fuel, right? So when we're out running around and we need to eat, like if you're going to get fast hamburger or whatever, just get it without the bun.
Nowadays, fuel is food, right? Not just food is fuel, but the other way around. So it's interesting. There's so much things out there. Again, like my son Justin, I do not really allow him to have much sugar on occasion, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably looked at as like, well, oftentimes we go to like parties and stuff, and there's times I give him cake and stuff like that. For the most part, I don't really allow him to have too much sugar.
But he's a picky eater, from what I can tell.
Yes, right. You met him. You're down there with him. He's very, very picky eater. He is, but I mean,
I would call him a mono eater.
A mono, huh?
What is that?
Exactly. He just eats one thing at a time. Like he wants a plate full of chicken, and that's it.
Right. Yeah. She met him down there.
That.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very observant, especially
Yeah.
with food. I take it because that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
So you plan
I
on
could
going
probably
on?
tell you what everybody ate in the room when we were down in California. That's
Interesting.
how.
Do you? So where do you plan on going in the future? Like, what do you plan on doing? Is this what you want to retire doing, or what's the future look like?
Well, I actually I qualify to retire now, but I'm not going to retire quite yet.
No.
I'm working on figuring out what I can do in my retirement, and I want to work with women that are at home with their kids that want to have some extra income. Maybe they can, make an extra $500 to pay the car payment or something, or
Right.
just have extra grocery money. And so I'm going to teach the ladies how to do that.
And you have taught already, because there's a section in one of the challenges that we have, and you've taken what you've learned in the short period of time, and you've implemented that and been able to gain access to funds that are sometimes kind of hidden. So I see one things about you is that you're you're a go-getter, and you're not somebody who just sits around just waiting for the prize to come to you.
Well, that's true. I mean, I was on a class last night with Desmond Soon, and I got to talk during the class, and I realized that if somebody explains to me how to do it, I can just go do it. Like, I just don't think about it. I just do it. And then I'm like, wow, this really works.
Desmond is great too. He's an IPA.
Yeah.
So for business, it's really important to set up your Google My Business. Right. And so Desmond had said, just go to Starbucks and buy some Starbucks.
Oh, that's right. I remember you saying you did. Go ahead. Let them know what you did.
So I was like, okay, I had like 19 or 20 Google My Businesses, and I needed 40. So I went.
Reviews, right?
Yeah, reviews, right. Reviews, 5-star reviews. So I went to Starbucks and I bought 10 $10 cards. And then I just started asking everyone that was in Starbucks if they would give me a review. And so I got, I think I got 9 reviews there. And then I called one friend. So I got 10 reviews in just like an hour.
Nice. Wow. And so just to give a quick reference on what it is she's talking about, you guys, there is a hack, so to speak. It's when you have a business and you want to be noticed on Google My Business, because we all do. If you have a business, you want to be noticed and have them put you at the top. So when people Google something, that your name pops up so they can give you business. So one of the golden numbers is to have approximately 40 Google My Business 5-star reviews. And so one of our mentors had said, hey, whatever you got to do to get these 40 reviews, go get them. If you know people that can just give you a friendly review, just have them. Well, he had mentioned doing the hack with the Starbucks, and she's the only person that I've known to do that.
Yeah.
I went to the Chinese restaurant that we go to once a week, and I asked the 2 folks in there if they would give me a review. They both gave a review, and one's even in Chinese.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, a review's a review, especially if it's 5-star, right? And so again,
and I'm noticing that I'm getting attention across the world. So if you go online and look at your Instagram, you can see where different people in different parts of the world are looking at your work. And I have people in South Korea and Japan following me.
Oh, wow. Nice. No way. Are you serious? From that?
Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
And also
what?
I noticed that I'm getting, like, for my book that I have on Amazon Kindle, I get commissions from Japan.
Oh, what? No way. How cool is that? That's amazing. So,
it's not a lot of money, but it's
something. It just goes to show that having the right people around, again, networking with you, however many followers you may have. This is something we learned with our last guest. No, not Justin Jr., but our second guest, because our first guest is on right now. What's up, sister? How you doing? Hey, we got Dr. Renee's in the building. Yeah. She says to you, those interviews were sort of like work, but she says, Sarah, you're doing a great job. But so our second guest, we brought him on, and all of his followers and stuff, we had like 111 views the very first like couple minutes. I'm like, how are we getting so many? And it was all of his followers. So for anybody out there, if you guys want to team up and have our followers be some potentially yours, this is a good way to network, is to have people on your show and say, hey, come on, bring value, and let's link up. And so kind of like having the same people with interest like what we're doing. So it's good to have people
Mm-hmm.
networking and doing, similar things and jumping on your podcast.
The other thing that I learned is that it's important to have your social media open so that people can actually follow you. Don't have it be private.
Right.
Sure, you'll get it. That was one of the things that I was a little worried about, is like, are people going to be bugging me and stuff? But mostly they're not.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mostly.
Right.
not,
Yeah. And it's interesting you say that, because last night when I was setting up this the podcast because we got the DJI camera, we got the microphones. By the way, how does the microphone sound? Did they sound pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I was setting this up, and I didn't realize, like, my page for my Justin Bird page that I've been going live on, it was set to private this whole time. So what are we on? 33 episodes? I think 33 episodes has been set to private this whole time. I was like, I swear I could have cried. I was like, no. And no wonder so on my other page, I'm getting like 400 people seeing it like every episode. But on this one, I'm getting 10. I'm like, what is going? But I finally realized last night that, this is only going out to a few people. So it does help to have it open like that, right? It definitely does. So, and being noticed, of course, being out there, being seen.
And also what I figured out was that you go through and look at your posts and see which ones are the highest. And then you make posts like that. And I recently did that. One of my friends kept saying, you need to cook. So I just cooked some sausages and made spaghetti sauce, and I had people sharing it and everything.
Nice.
And for me, it's like no big deal, but for someone else, they probably wonder how I make spaghetti sauce.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting, because there is a video on YouTube of someone screwing a hole into a wall, and it got over like 3 million views. But the point of it is there's definitely room to make money doing social media, because several people are doing it. And this obviously isn't for everybody. Some people are like, I don't like the camera. There is faceless, and I'm not trying to, tell anybody this is the way to go. I'm just saying there is definitely, there's this $1 trillion business. So, there's just so many ways to go about it. And we're just diving into this. We've been in school for this for a year, but just recently is when I was able to make my very first dollar online. But I've been, keeping my 10 toes to the ground, as my sister Renee would say, 10 toes down, and just making sure that I'm doing what I need to do. But I think overall, being consistent with this, we haven't missed a podcast yet. I was dying sick, like literally I was like super sick, still showed up. Lady was sick, we still showed up. And so I was actually going to miss today, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to miss a beat. I'm just glad I'm showing up and being consistent, because the algorithm's seeing it as well.
So Letty, I got a question for you. What is your favorite dinner to cook for your family?
My favorite dinner.
She's a phenomenal cook. I'm not saying that either just to say it.
Because aren't you Italian too?
She looks
and Mexican, yes.
Mexican, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really anything with, like, I make really good rice. Well, pretty much anything I make is
the meals are exquisite. Like
really
she
well.
really does. Like
I put a lot of
it.
love.
Yeah,
I do let love lead me when I cook. Like I pray over my food, and I just ask for love to be in it, and ask like what kind of spices. I let my intuition really guide me when I'm cooking. And so like my favorite dish would be I really like to make spaghetti. Justin, I have to what do you call it? I have to
lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, like because
it burns the back of my tongue.
The back of
like
tongue.
Whatever's in pasta or like noodles, whatever it is, at the back of my tongue, it's like a burn. It's like
maybe try gluten-free ones and see if
probably But since I can remember, I've had I don't know if it's an allergy or what, but at the back of my tongue, it just kind of like burns. It's like a weird
one way you could test it would be to just eat the pasta alone and see if it happens. And then eat the sauce alone and see if it happens.
Ooh, well, I've been using the Instapot a lot lately. So I've been buying chicken and cutting it up and just throwing like bell peppers or, different spices in there, and then cooking some rice with it. I've been making a lot of that. And
do you eat a lot of Whole Foods?
Do I go to Whole Foods? There's a store in Portland called New Seasons that I go to, which is a lot like Whole Foods. And it's just on the way home, so I can stop in there. I stop on Wednesday night for a senior discount.
Nice.
And I'll pick up.
What's your favorite to cook?
Lately, I've been really leaning into fish. So I bought a piece of halibut last night and I just cooked up some zoodles. I took zucchini and I made noodles, like cut them real thin strips.
Yeah.
And I just sauteed them in olio, which is just olive oil and garlic and salt.
Ah, okay.
And it was super good side with the fresh fish.
Yeah.
Simple.
I mean, who doesn't love food? I love food.
I just love food.
Absolutely.
That's why I have to walk 10,000 steps a day.
Well, one time somebody told me they work out because so that they can eat what they want, and it makes sense. Like if you're eating, if you're eating burgers and stuff like that, you work out so you eat what you want, so you look good.
Honestly, since I started my job 25 years ago, guess how many pounds I've gained?
3.
40.
That could be worse. It could be worse. I've lost 10 on accident. I lost 10.
So when you work in the food industry like I do, it's like I cleaned my office today, so I'm decluttering. I was going through the shelves and I'm like, what do we have? Noodles in here and weird barbecue sauce and 3 different kinds of salt and all this funny stuff that's just cluttering up my office.
How does it feel when you do that? Because I love it when I
actually
declutter.
I'm going to be decluttering this weekend big time, but I'm trying to get up the courage to just get rid of a bunch of clothes.
I know. Why is that like one of the hardest things to do? Because I found that would be
hard. But I saw somebody's closet. I think Ayana is on here. She showed a picture of her closet. It was so clean.
Yeah.
Like I could tell she only had the clothes she wanted, that she loved, hanging in that closet.
Right. Letty, she's super nice and tidy and clean. I come in and I just shook her world up. And like, I'm the type, like, it's not on purpose. It's not like I'm like lazy, but I put I lay my clothes. It's like, so I'm not as organized as Letty, which I'm sure that,
It's a lot of work maintaining.
But he finds his stuff. I'm like, I don't know how you find it. Like, I'm like, if you take it out, put it back. Because then it makes it easier, right? For the next time, we don't have to make it so hard for ourselves.
Discipline, don't you think?
It is. It's the life of an ADHD, and that's not something that I've known my whole life. Because I was just diagnosed with a couple of years ago when I was in college. But the life of even like a user, I could say, is like I would have this whole mess, right? But I would know where I'm saying a big old mess. I know where everything is. I mean, it was like unorganized, but organized.
Think your brain, how impressive your brain is that you can know where all that stuff was in a big humongous mess.
No idea. It's crazy how, I don't know if that's good or bad, because obviously it wasn't good, you know what I mean? But I can know where something. I had this store full of like stuff that I've been collecting. Like I didn't have junk. I didn't. Everything I had was worth money.
Justin, tell me, what do you love about Letty? Tell me 3 things.
I love her cooking. Okay, I love her style.
She has style.
Right? And when we are vibing, and I love her energy for sure.
Yeah,
nice.
We can dance. You can dance, and here's 2 physical things. I love the way her singing is better than her cooking, and her cooking's phenomenal. Like her singing, she is a phenomenal singer. Like there's times where she has sung and it brought me to tears. Like seriously, she has an amazing voice. And it's like, when we first hooked up, first met each other, she was like, people were like, you first meet and they want to kind of, they want to say the good things that they do. I've heard many women say that they could sing, and she said it and I'm like, yeah, I bet, you know what I mean? But she started singing, I was like, I stopped what I was doing. I was like, I'm sure my jaw was too big. I'm like, oh wow, she really can sing. So matter of fact, there was she was going to try out for, what was it? American Idol?
Not American Idol. I'm too old for that. America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent, yes.
Oh.
Cold feet at the end, but we were really rooting for her to go. But I can only imagine what it'd be like to be up there and actually.
It's not too late.
Right?
Oh yeah, she's got I know. I mean, I sang in church for years. Made a CD. Did
Could we
did
get
some of that stuff.
Can we get anything?
Oh my gosh.
Would you mind hearing? Do you guys want to hear Letty singing?
Okay,
here. Let me turn this on. Real quick. You gotta hear something.
Oh, put me on the spot.
Yes, let's do it. This is the way to do it. Let's go.
I'm like, what am I even gonna sing? I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. I guess you'll say, what can make me feel this way, my guy? Talking about my guy. That's a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I
That's
can do
Hey,
more.
have you connected with Honey? She's doing that sing by numbers
I've
thing.
reached out. Yes.
That would be fun for you to do.
Yeah. With
Did you know she
karaoke?
does she does the science of the actual singing?
Yes.
She
I
does
remember
yeah.
her talking about it.
She has podcasts on Wednesday afternoons. You could check it
Oh,
out.
yeah.
I'm gonna hit her up and see
Okay.
if we can
It's
jump on
Honey
again.
LaRoche. It's Sing by Numbers.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
right.
I
Okay,
remember
yeah,
she
that's
talked about
definitely-
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna text her
She
after
just
this.
launched this week. So
That's right. So she's been working on this getting launched, and again, having the people who are bettering themselves or wanting to do better for themselves, it matters so much because you see these people doing what they're doing, and it's like iron sharpens iron, right? Because we push each other to do well. Again, and anytime Sarah's around us, I feel like I've learned so much because when you are on the challenges with us, you take these $10,000 notes and like you should see, like she shows up every single season and is taking. I mean, other than a couple months, you have been there for almost all the seasons.
Yeah, and you know what? Now I figured out I can type the notes because I set up a screen. So I typed every single word that Spectacular Smith said on Wednesday.
Nice. Did you know if you have a Mac, and I don't know if it works for other laptops, but you can have it where your laptop can listen and then have your notes up and it'll type it all out for you. You don't even have to do it yourself. You can just let your listen.
Is there a microphone? Something
Listen, this is what you do. This is what you
enable
do.
it. Yeah.
You know what? I had Spectacular. He built out my fatherhood program by what I did was I turned ChatGPT on, hit the mic, and I put it right by the speaker, and I let him talk about all of it. And then I said, okay, now can you help turn this into a program? And that's how I ended up meeting the team I'm with now. Was having this program laid out that had done by ChatGPT in a sense. But
wow, what a wonderful gift.
Yeah, so it's just thinking outside the box. And I mean, what can you do to,
use technology?
As a kid, before we had like microphones and things like this, I mean, there's been microphones but before we had the ability to record, I remember we had a tape player and we would record and put it up to this one. And we were able to I don't remember the science behind it, but we were able to record us rapping through from tape player to tape player. This is you put them together, and it was I remember we were able to record. It was amazing. So able to, I've been innovative since.
On April Fool's Day, did you see any April Fool's things that were on social media? I fell for one.
I didn't.
This guy was on and he said, so you take a wine glass and you wrap the bottom of it, the stem, in tinfoil, and then you lay it on its side. And if you put your cell phone and you turn on a movie, it'll project on the wall.
What?
And you tried it?
I tried it.
And I didn't do it?
Oh.
April Fool's.
I would have tried it
April
too.
Fool's. We got Dr. Renee says but it won't put periods. This is when we're doing the ChatGPT. She says, "Yeah, beautiful lady.
You got to do a little work." Yeah.
Aunt Ramona is in the house. She said, "Beautiful and can." She said, "You're beautiful and can sing." Yes, let's hear it. Yes, girl, you sound great. And can you see the comments over there, Sarah?
Yeah.
You are okay. So we got every time I go to the workshop, I turn the mic on. What's workshop?
Huh. Every time
maybe just the social media income challenge.
Oh, yes, okay. Oh, okay, right, yeah. There's so much to learn, but
I was like,
okay. So before we take off and head out, this has been a great episode. I feel like having you on. You always have great energy. You're very intelligent, and you have things that I feel like it's easy to listen to you and have my learning ears on when you're around, because you just the way you talk, you're just very smooth with what you say. I love the way you present yourself, and so really appreciative to have you here and share the knowledge that you have about food and the things that you've done in your life. So let's just be one of many that you're a guest on ours, and maybe we can come on to yours. You do have a podcast, right?
Yeah, we have a podcast. And we should have you on, but we're mostly focused on food.
Okay.
Which
Well, shoot.
I love, like I said, I love food.
Right.
Cooking
I
it and eating it.
But
Yeah.
yes, so again,
So-
we appreciate you being here with us. So you could be anywhere, but you decided to take this hour with us, and so
Yes.
we had a lot of fun with you. And we appreciate you
Thank
being
you.
here. So
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
love
let's-
you
Thank you so
guys.
much.
yeah,
we
you
love
too.
you too.
So and again, you guys go follow her on it is what is it called?
Meaningful Marketplace.
Meaningful Marketplace, and
Yeah.
actually
iTunes and YouTube.
any workshop, Jay. Thanks, Sarah. You are amazing, and we loved you tonight. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Renee, for being here,
Yes,
sister. We love
thank
you
you.
so
Love
much.
you
And
too,
everybody.
Dr. Renee.
Everyone.
Yes, for everybody
Yes.
being here at Mona, anybody who's been in here, thank you guys so
Patty.
much. We feel like we are progressing in the podcast world. You know,
Yeah.
I think the sound is getting better, the videos are getting
Yes.
better. You know, the ability to see your guys' comments we're growing. And so this is
Yes.
episode I think it's season 2, episode 4. So that'd be what, 34 episodes.
Gosh,
And we're growing. We're just,
Yeah.
the point is that we're showing up, we're showing out, we're making sure that, we're staying consistent. I think that's key. So, you guys keep on
In anything,
tuning in with us. And if you guys have any kind of comments or anything that you guys want to share that we might be able to talk about, or if you want to come up on the podcast, leave us a note. Let us
Yes.
hear your thoughts and stuff. So again, thank you, Sister Sarah, for being here. We love you guys. We love all you guys for tuning in. Thanks again. And we will see you guys on next Wednesday.
Yes.
So,
next Wednesday.
Okay. It worked out.
Yay, it worked.
Let's go. Love you guys. Stay tuned. We'll see you guys next time.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.